Picture this. The year is 1978. The streets of Milan are buzzing. Neon lights flicker against slick sidewalks, and a young man with sharp eyes, perfectly sculpted hair, and a vision that burns brighter than any street lamp walks into a small atelier. His name is Gianni Versace, and he is about to change the world of fashion forever. Not quietly, not politely, but like a thunderbolt. Gianni was born on December 2, 1946, in Reggio Calabria, the southern tip of Italy. His family was modest. His father ran a small business making children's clothing, and his mother sewed by hand for extra income. From a very early age, Gianni was surrounded by fabric, thread, and the smell of fresh cotton. While other children played with toys, he played with scissors and scraps of fabric. He had an eye for color, texture, and form that seemed almost supernatural. Even as a boy, he noticed things other people missed: the way light reflected on silk, the curve of a seam, the boldness of a pattern. By the time he was a teenager, it was clear to everyone around him that Gianni was not meant to stay in Calabria. He had dreams that stretched far beyond his provincial town. He moved to Milan, the beating heart of Italian fashion, a city where style was law and innovation was currency. It was here that Gianni worked tirelessly, learning every aspect of design, production, and the fierce business of fashion. He was not the type to sit back and wait for opportunity. He created it. His first big break came when he designed for small boutiques, infusing his collections with daring colors, opulent fabrics, and bold prints. The early 80s were a time when fashion was restrained in some corners, predictable in others, but Gianni's designs screamed audacity. His creations were glamorous yet rebellious. They invited attention, demanded admiration, and most importantly, celebrated the body without shame. And then came the couture shows that would cement his reputation. Gianni Versace understood something many designers did not. Fashion was not just clothing. Fashion was theater. Fashion was power. His runway shows were electric experiences, blending music, lights, models, and drama into a spectacle that audiences would never forget. He cast models who were unlike the traditional, understated beauties of the time. He sought figures that were strong, striking, and impossible to ignore. And in doing so, he changed the standard of beauty forever. But Gianni's genius was not limited to the runway. He understood celebrity before celebrity became a marketing tool. He dressed the stars of the era: Elizabeth Hurley, Madonna, Elton John, Princess Diana, and each appearance was a statement. When Madonna wore his iconic black bustier, it was not just a dress, it was a declaration. It was dangerous. It was Versace. He blurred the line between fashion and persona. Celebrities did not just wear his clothes, they became walking billboards for his vision. Gianni's designs were bold in every sense. Gold and Baroque patterns, vibrant prints, daring cuts, and shimmering fabrics became his signature. He took inspiration from art, from ancient Greece, from modern architecture, and from the streets of his native Italy. Every piece was infused with his personality, flamboyant, luxurious, fearless, and unapologetic. People who wore Versace did not fade into the background. They demanded to be noticed. Despite his glamorous world, Gianni remained deeply connected to family. He brought his siblings into the business: Santo, Donatella, and later, Allegra. Together, they expanded the brand into perfumes, accessories, and eventually a global empire. Donatella, his younger sister, would become his closest collaborator and confidant, helping him execute the grand vision that few others could even imagine. But as Gianni rose to superstardom, his life was not without danger. fame has a shadow, and the world he inhabited attracted envy, obsession, and obsession's deadliest companion, violence. His life became a high-stakes balancing act between creativity, celebrity, and the constant awareness that the world around him could be ruthless. Then came July 15, 1997, Miami Beach. The sun had set. The streets glowed under neon lights. Gianni was walking home from a dinner at his mansion, perhaps reflecting on the empire he had built, the shows he had produced, the lives he had touched. And then, in an instant, it ended. He was shot outside his home in full view of the world. The news shocked everyone. The fashion world had lost its brightest star. A man who had made glamour, excess, and danger look effortless was gone. Gianni Versace's death was more than a murder. It was symbolic. It reminded the world that brilliance is fragile, that fame is perilous, and that the man who lived as a god of fashion could also be mortal. Yet even in death, his influence refused to fade. The empire he built continued under the guidance of his family, and the spirit of Versace lives on in every bold print, every shimmering gown, every celebrity who dares to wear it. Today, Gianni Versace is remembered as more than a designer. He was a visionary, a provocateur, a cultural force. He taught the world that clothing is not just fabric stitched together. It is armor, it is art, it is identity. He showed that beauty could be fierce, opulent, and powerful all at once. And perhaps most importantly, he proved that in a world of constraints, audacity could be the greatest luxury of all. Gianni Versace's story is one of contrasts: humble beginnings and global fame, beauty and danger, love and loss. It is a story of relentless creativity, of ambition that refused to bow, and of a life lived in the spotlight until the very end. He is a reminder that the world remembers the ones who dare, who take risks, and who refuse to blend into the ordinary. If you ever look at a glittering gown, a bold print, or a dramatic runway show, remember the man behind it all. Gianni Versace turned fashion into an experience, a spectacle, a statement. And in doing so, he became immortal, not just in the clothes he designed, but in the hearts and memories of everyone who has ever been captivated by beauty, courage, and daring style.